Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Aiman Solihin bin Azman. My metric number 1232254. So today I would like to explain on the sources of international law. In international law, the main reference point for identifying these sources is Article 38 Clause 1 of the Statute of the International Court of Justice, ICJ. This article outlines the materials that the court relies upon to decide dispute brought before it. Understanding these sources help us see how international legal obligations are created, interpreted, and applied among states or nations. Okay, so we'll like to jump on the primary sources. Firstly, we have international convention or treaties. So under Article 38, under Statute of ICJ, there are formal agreements between nations that create binding legal obligation. So what is the example of treaties that we know? So the treaties that we have know, such as Geneva Convention, United Nations Charter, and the Paris Agreement on Climate Change. So these treaties are often called with written law of the International Committee because they clearly outline rights and duties accepted by the state that signed them or ratify the treaties. Okay, and then for the second primary sources of international law, we have CIL. You know what is CIL? Customary international law. So customary law arises from consistent state practice and a belief that such practice is legally required, known as opinion juries. So in CIL, customary international law, we have two parts, which is state practice and opinion juries. So custom is crucial because it binds even those states that are not parties to specific treaties. So for the third primary sources, which is general principle of law recognized by civilized nation, it also states under Article 38. So this principle common to most. These are principles more common to most national legal system and help fill gaps when the treaty or custom does not provide an answer. And then we go to the subsidiary sources. So before that, we have discussed about the primary sources of international law. So we have also the subsidiary sources, which are judicial decision and teaching of the highly qualified juries or publicists, also stated under Article 38, Clause 1, Paragraph D. So, judicial decisions such as judgment by the Court of International Justice also can be a sources, but it also not a binding precedent, but it will help interpret the existing law. And the second one, highly qualified publicists, the writing of scholars such as Oppenheimer or Brownlee are also influential in clarifying and shaping legal principles. So for this topic, we have two significant case law which is guideline to us and enshrine us, enlighten us about what is important of the sources of international law. So the first case is which is North Sea Continental Shelf in the year of 1969. This case involved a dispute between Germany, Denmark, and the Netherlands over maritime boundaries, and then the court emphasized that for a rule to become customary international law, there must be consistent state practice and opinion juries. So in this case, it is clear that we can see the customary international law are recognized by those nations. So for the second case, Nicaragua, and United States. In this case, the court reaffirmed that customary international law exists independently of treaty law, even though the United States was not bound by certain treaties. It was still subject to the customary rule prohibiting the use of force. So this is the two most significant case for our international law sources. So we have made to the last session, which is conclusion from my presentation today. So Article 38 of ICJ Statute provide a clear hierarchy of the sources of international law, which are treaties, custom, and general principle as the primary sources, and judicial decision and scholar writing as subsidiary ones. So to understand this sources is crucial for everyone studying on international law, because this is how we want to define how legal norms are formed and applied in the global community. So lastly, this sources ensure that international relations operate within a framework of law, order, and justice rather than pure politics of power. That's all from me. Goodbye.